Could you marry someone without meeting their family?
No.
Could you marry someone without meeting their family? She met no one, not a mama, a cousin, a dad, like nothing.
Yeah, you got to meet the people who are like accountable for your future spouse.
It's weird because I know the mom, Jason's mom, was mad because she sent her a text, I guess, about the wedding, but I don't know. It doesn't say if she like called her and introduced herself or spoke to her, because it was like, oh, they never met, but it's like, well, she did text her, so that's kind of odd. Like your first interaction is just a text message about the wedding.
Yeah.
You know, I think at the end when they had the big blowout, and not to speed things up, but at the end when they had the big blowout, and she was like, she hasn't even come over the bridge and seen and saw and met me.
Yeah, she never met me. Yeah.
And he was like, that was me, Mom. That was me. And I kind of feel that if we're thinking like this is in real life terms, he probably mentioned that or kind of gave that off to Paula's character, so that she was thinking like, oh, okay, maybe texting is softer and a little bit more, like not too intense. Because when you call someone, you're present, like you hear me, So she was
I'm sure she wanted to meet his mom, definitely. But
right.
Why wouldn't he want, Sabrina, to meet his mom?
I think he was thinking like, dang, my mom has this vibe. Maybe she'll be different this time because this girl is different to me. That was number one. And then I think he was thinking like, I don't know how my mom gonna be acting. She may be thinking that Sabrina's too sedity, but she's really not, even though she has a different background. I think he already was knowing his mom may come with some of the antics. So he was trying to block, but whenever you do that, it can mess things up. He should have just let that be like, hey, Mama, I like her.
I really wish the film would have shown more of his headspace and more of where he was coming from, because it wasn't until we met the mom or it wasn't until they had that big blowout in the family kitchen where he says, every single woman in my life, you've driven them away with your manipulations, but we didn't see that. And so I have nothing to go off of except for your word. And it seems like a lot of the anger is directed at the swiftness of this wedding, and you can understand that. Like you can understand why Miss Pam is upset that this, it seems like Sabrina's family both of the families are really tied to tradition and decorum, but a lot of their traditions and decorum are not the same. So
they clash.
Yeah, so you are upset about this text message. Well, I think a lot of people would be upset about a text message if I haven't met you and you're asking me to do you a service. So you're asking me to bring baby pictures to this wedding and I haven't even met you. You asking me to, I already spent my money on this dress, and now you're asking me to go to a fitting because you want everyone to wear the same shade of buff. You don't know my financial situation. Maybe it really took me some time to save up for this dress. Oh, my father is going to reimburse you. Well, you don't know if I'm comfortable with accepting money from your father. I wish that we would have seen his mother act out with the women in his life so that I can understand why he's trying to protect Sabrina from the mother. We open with her clasping her bra and she's talking about how she's not going to give her cookies away, and which is fine, but I felt like I didn't need to see that. I could like show me some, like, I don't know. I wish I would have seen the courtship.
So do you think, I'm gonna get to the cookie part. That's my other question, next question. But do you think Jason might have been afraid that his mom would probably like try to talk him out of marrying Sabrina, like if they would have met before the wedding? Because that might be it. He might be like, I don't want no input. I just want to be married. I don't want to hear nothing.
I think he just knew that she was going to bring like extra. You know, I think any parent, you know, when your mom will come at you and say like, I don't know, either it's a job that you're thinking about or the outfit you're trying to pick out, you know, your mom's gonna give you like, okay. And you know how when you really got your mind made on something, you're older, it's like, mama, all right, come on, you know. And I think boys don't get all of that heat most of the times the way that moms do the women, their daughters. I think
Yeah.
I think they get the most heat when it comes with the people in their lives, the woman that they like, or you know, maybe their child rearing or anything like that. And I think he just didn't want to have to deal with, okay, mom, because it would seem like, you know, every other girl, like he was telling her, you given a problem. And I think he was like, she's different. I'm not trying to deal with it.
What
You
made
know,
her
like,
different though? Is what I
Well,
would have liked to know. Like
oh,
yeah,
I
because you
feel you.
never
what
know
made her
what type of
different
girl
from
he
the
dated.
other
Yeah.
women in his life?
We don't know.
We don't
We don't
know.
know.
So, and it's difficult for me to just trust the dialogue when I don't even know these people. I don't know. The movie was cute. I guess I just didn't have, I don't feel any attachment to any of them. Like I feel more attachment to Angela Bassett's character and
I love her character.
the father.
Her husband.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I also
because I
like
feel
the
like
aunt.
I saw it
You
play
saw it
out.
build it up. Yeah.
But I don't see how Sabrina is any different from the other woman that he's been with because I ain't seen the other woman he's been with.
You're right. They should have more backgrounds onto Jason's life because he literally appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Back to what I asked you about the first scene. This this you can tell since 2011 because this whole I'm gonna be, you know, I'm gonna stop having sex until I get married, or
Hmm.
I need to focus on me, or just it's because it's the same theme was in what was the movie with Megan Good had the same issue. Was it This Christmas?
No, she wasn't in that one.
She wasn't.
What
I
was
thought
it?
Black
What
person
was
was in
it?
that movie
What? Oh, let me think, Nicole.
when she was
Was it
just like,
90 Day? Think Like a Man? Was
yeah,
that
think
it?
like a man, think
Okay,
like a
okay,
man.
okay.
So I think that came out around the same era. So it was like this like, you
Me
know,
too.
2010s era of this woman being like, I need to not have sex to find a husband. Do you think
Yep.
that's still relevant? Is that true? Does it matter?
Good question. Hmm. Oh wow, let me
I
take a
think
look
for
at it.
some folks it matters. It matters, like some folks who are, who identify as Christian. And I think I'm using Christian. I'm sure that there are other religions that um, prefer for both parties to not engage in any type of sexual activity until they are officially married in the eyes of the church. So yeah, I mean, and I think there are still people. I know people who still live by that. I don't necessarily like. I feel like when people our age talk about it, it's just some outdated tradition. But I think a whole bunch of people still take that stuff seriously, honey. I'm not
Mhm.
engaging in anything. I won't even kiss
Yeah.
until we are married. And
Mhm.
so I think that if you're coming from that type of tradition, then it is important. It's not something that I necessarily believe in. Well, I guess I can't say I believe in. Like it's not for me to believe or disbelieve. It's not something that I follow. Um, but I don't know. I guess there's a certain like the intimacy that you are not engaging in. It just like, so you're not going to have sex with this person, but you're also not going to meet their family. I don't get it. Like, what type of courtship is this? And then like we saw like 5 incredible months later after she meets him by hitting him with her car.
She hits him with the car.
Yeah, and we don't see, like, is this a traditional courtship? How is
Well, we
this?
saw one date, but they went to like a show, and
Yeah.
then.
They did
But yeah,
that.
it's. I mean, the beginning is kind of. It is kind of like. It is kind of rushed. It's kind of like, okay, you, a woman's having, I guess, unsuccessful relationships. She thinks because she's giving it up too soon, and then she vows to not have sex until she's married, and then this man just drops out of nowhere, and
Yeah.
they date, and he proposes, and then they get married.
Yeah.
It's. I
Doesn't
mean,
that put way too much pressure on the sexual act when
yeah.
really, aren't there other areas of your life that you should be investigating? Because maybe it's not that you had sex too soon, maybe it's because you wanted to get close too soon, maybe not, I mean, like emotionally close, maybe
Yeah,
you need
true.
to investigate your expectations. Maybe it's not just, it ain't just about you sharing your body with someone.
I mean, it is. It's like expectations. It's all levels of intimacy, conversations,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know.
And a merging of families, and do I want to be a part of your family? Like, do I want this? Do Sabrina want to be with Pam? No.
No.
Pam won't even.
Right.
Pam said you can't even have the sweet potato pie recipe, honey, that she bought in a plastic bag. That she bought in a Dwayne Reed bag.
So why do you think Jason didn't fight to include his family traditions and foods in the wedding? Because it seemed like this wedding, this is Sabrina's wedding. Like, it's at Sabrina's parents' house or summer house.
Right.
It's their food, their traditions. There was nothing about Jason in this wedding.
My mind is this. I think a lot of men go with that. So I don't think it's too like shocking, because you can be in a whole different kind of situation than Sabrina and Jason, and the men will still fall back when it comes to the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll just be like, it's your day. It's nothing wrong. My family not really involved. Whatever you want my family to do, they'll do it, you know? So I didn't look at it as like a shocking point. I think I came from that angle, but then also on the second part, I was thinking more like it goes back. Like he was just like, I'm actually happy that your family is leading this effort, because my family, which is led by my mom, may come with this. Why you not doing that? Why you want that? And he just didn't want all of that, because he's coming from his mom being like too, she's never calm. She's like, if she comes across as the mom is like, you could spend hours on cooking something, everybody love it, everybody giving it, compliments, but his mom would be like, it was okay. It seems like that's how he's making Loretta Devine character be. So in my mind, I think he was coming from both sides. Like, listen, it's the woman. He views a wedding as a woman's show. Tell me what you want me to do and my family to do. And then also he's kind of like, thank goodness, because I ain't want my mom and them and everybody to kind of mess up this anyway. That's kind of how I took it.
See, I don't think his mom was that out of line.
Me neither.
Okay.
Because I understand why she was upset. Like we mentioned before, like she never met the girl. The first interaction is a text message, which is rude. At least call to have a conversation.
Or at least he could have called her something.
Yeah, like he should have. Like he should have did that. He should have known to like at least have a phone conversation.
Right.
I'm assuming he didn't know. I'm assuming he didn't know about the baby pictures.
That's a possibility.
I'm just saying, like with
in general,
with his fiance, like at least have, if you don't want them to like meet face to face, like that's your mama. Like, hey, like
right.
Remember we said last week we was talking about meeting the family, how when everybody else meet the family before your mom do, like your mom's gonna feel a certain way. Your mom does not want to be with all the aunties when she meets your significant other. Your mom wants to meet them first, and then you introduce them to the aunties and the cousins and the uncles. So I get why she's upset, and also I think the thing that kind of was more frustrating was that this wedding took place on her family's property. So it's not like they had like a church or like a centralized, like a neutral place. This was it was her family's house. So it's kind of like there was nothing about Jason. It's like it's not even theirs. Like it's one thing to be like, this is me and my husband. We're gonna do things our way. We want to have it in the park. So, or we want to have it, I don't know, at a library or whatever. Like just doing like your own thing together. But this wasn't even together. It was, this is Sabrina's family, Sabrina's family's home, Sabrina's family's menu. And you can see how her family was very involved in everything. The food, the decorations, the outfits. And I can see how Jason's mom was just like, well, like, what about me? Like, do I have any input? Like, it's like, it was like they treated her like she was a guest instead of the mother of the groom.
For sure. And I was calling Pam passive aggressive Pam throughout the film, and really I shouldn't have. She was more like actively aggressive. Really, I think that Jason was the passive aggressive party. And one reason why it seemed like he was trying to disconnect himself from his mother and from his side of the family the entire time. We never see him in Brooklyn. We never see him eat the pie that the mother brings. We never see even the decision to have to not have his cousin as the best man. I feel like was a passive aggressive way of removing himself, like putting a just there being a disconnect between him and his family. I'm assuming that that jumping the broom is a tradition that your mother expects you to participate in. Why was there never a conversation about that with your mother? If like, why is everything a surprise to the mother?
Yeah.
Especially if the way she's gonna act. Why is everything a surprise? And even you not going out to pick up your family from the port, when they arrive on Chilmark. Is that in Martha's Vineyard? Is that on Martha's Vineyard?
Or I don't know.
Chilmark, I believe it's Chilmark, Massachusetts. You don't like there's a certain way of introducing the families, and by him not even being a part of the transition from that boat to the family's estate, you were not even involved there. Like I would expect him to make this transition for Pam easier. And at every turn, like at every, he just refuses to. So I know that Pam is supposed to be the villain. Like the mothers seem to be the villains in this film, but really I think that like Jason is incredibly problematic here.
I agree. He definitely should have stood up more for his family.
Or he could have just took the driver's seat, like, as opposed to just kind of being like, I'll figure it out later. Like, he was trying to give directions from the back. If he would have been to the forefront and would have been like, Mama, this is the girl I like from the beginning, boom, boom, there we go.
Or just don't invite her.
Well,
if it's really that big of a deal, then don't have her come to the wedding. Y'all just have like a little go to the courthouse. I don't get like if you really feel like this woman is gonna drive away Sabrina, then why even have the big shindig at all? Well, I feel like you wanted to embarrass, like this was his way of like putting his mom in her place.
I took it as like, not so much as that. I took it as like, he needed the mom to be there because there's still that onus on his side to show like, I come from a family as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, he kind of like, you have your mom, your dad, your family, this and the third. He has a family. He's very much proud of his family. He loves them. But I think he wanted to kind of control their actions a bit. Not so much they, but more so his mom. So he kind of took this like, listen, I'm not gonna do the whole mama stuff, meet and greet and whatever. We'll do that at the wedding. I'm gonna tell my mama, like, please, like, mama, like, please, like, just let it be. And I think if she would have just been quiet, everything would have been okay. But the mom was like, like, he was thinking like that, like, my mama just,
He knew that was not going to happen.
But he knew that really wasn't going to happen, but he was just trying to control it. But if he would have got in front of it, then I think he would have been so much better. Meet the parents, like, set some kind of phone conversation up. Hey, this is my mom. This is it. Hey, mama, like, we're going to do it like this. Well, I was thinking we could do it like this. Well, I don't really want to wear that dress. Well, my was thinking about this dress. Like, we could have had all this done in the beginning. She was getting everything kind of rushed to her in one space. Mm-hmm. As opposed to if Jason would have been like, hey, mom, about the dresses, I'm here with Sabrina. Hey, can we talk about this? She could have saved money. Like, it could have been things like that, but he didn't include her. He was just thinking his mom was just going to be like, okay. And it's like, your mom is not going to do the okay, But I think he wanted to at least have her, though.
Was going to act up.
He was just hoping
his mom was going to act up. And that's the reason why I'm like, even for Sabrina's sake, why did you, like, your mom is going to come here and act a damn fool. So why are you not trying to protect me by making this transition easier? I should have been met your mom in Brooklyn. We should have been met. Like, if I am the woman that you want to be with, then we should have gotten over this hurdle before the wedding day.
True. I just think he can't deal with the aftermath of his mom not being at his wedding. You see? I think he had no choice.
Yeah.
So
he had a choice. He should have. Pam should have been included, like
from the beginning,
and included in the courtship too. Like how y'all went and had lunch at 21. What is 21? That's a fancy restaurant in the city. Something. Where is it? 21.
Oh yeah, they had lunch and she didn't come to the lunch. I think, like I said, like, I don't think Pam was wrong. I think all these little things was just like, well, damn, like, y'all having lunch together, y'all have the dresses, because the dress wasn't a surprise to Sabrina's mom.
Right. Like, how is she not supposed to feel unwanted?
Right.
How is she not supposed to feel this way?
And Jason could have solved a lot of his problems if he would have just been a bit more vocal and try to handle it from. He could have been more involved.
Right. He should have stepped up.
Name the things that Pam had an issue with from the beginning of the movie to the end. The first one seemed like the text message was a problem. Mm-hmm. The text message where Sabrina says that, she would like for her to bring baby pictures to the wedding. Now, my question is, why you don't already have baby pictures of your fiance? Why have you not already seen these baby pictures?
Well, I'm sure your mama got the most pictures, so I get that.
She has the most pictures, but you need baby pictures to be a part of the thing. I'm assuming that you would have some to be a part of the ceremony.
Yeah.
So it seemed like she needed baby pictures because she didn't have not one.
Yeah.
So she mad about the text message. And I think we can all agree that is rude.
Yeah, it's rude.
But I can see, Sabrina being nervous about reaching out to her. And I can understand what Kalisha is saying about maybe this is an easier way for me to introduce myself. But again, you're introducing yourself in a way that, Pam seems very old school. She probably don't do text messages.
You got to call her.
You're asking me to work. You asking me to work. Like, really, when you need me, you need to have my flowers, honey.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Should have had a gift, like,
exactly.
Hey,
Exactly. So that's number one. What was the other issue that Pam had? The fact that she didn't.
Lunch that you mentioned.
The lunch. And basically, Jason lied about his mother being busy.
Yeah.
So how was she supposed to feel about that? And then she had a problem with him not picking them up.
Oh yeah.
Not the airport, but the
ferry.
The ferry.
Yeah.
So you're upset that he didn't pick you up from the ferry. How do y'all feel about that? Would you have been upset about that?
No.
The
I
family
guess
had a driver
if
pick
you're
them up.
expecting, I don't know, because he seemed like he was planning on doing it, and Sabrina was like, "Oh, don't worry, the driver will do it." So I'm thinking that maybe he told his mom that he was gonna pick them up, and then when that didn't happen, she's just like, "Where's my son?" Like,
Right.
it's kind of like, because then, like you said, her being old school, that's that personal. Your family picks you up from the airport or the ferry. You don't just send a driver. Like, that's very, and it can be very impersonal to some people. It's like, no,
Yeah.
you pick me up yourself. Like, you don't just send somebody to come get me or send a taxi or send an Uber. Like, you do it.
Yeah. And I felt like the film made the family look, the film made the family look as if they had never seen money before.
It was like the ghetto versus the rich.
Which is, I just felt like,
yeah.
Like, ooh, we got a driver. Oh my God, that's what I'm talking about. Maybe.
It was very like, it's very class, like a clash of the classes kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the low class meeting the high class, and it's very stereotypical.
Yeah. And we didn't necessarily see how Jason's family lives.
Like, yeah.
And if you are vice president at Goldman Sachs, you are a vice president at Goldman Sachs. Where do you live? I'm assuming you don't live in Brooklyn.
No, he lived.
Did we ever see his home?
No.
But we saw his mother's home.
Did we?
Right. We saw her when she came home from work and she was looking for the baby pictures.
Oh, okay.
And she was sitting at the thing. So that could have been his house.
Your mama,
I don't know.
So your mama still work at the post office when you were VP at Goldman Sachs?
Right. But, we see this play out a lot of times and stuff where, the person, the child does way, like, they're super successful, but you have the strong mom or the strong parents that, I ain't leaving where I'm coming from. This my house. I ain't leaving my house. So she could have been that. I took it as like, she's that mom where, like, you could do whatever you want to do. Make sure I'm straight, but this is my house. And you ain't gonna move me to some other house in another part of town and make me be like, I'm out of place. So she comes off as like, they was trying to make her be that mom.
So family, so you a VP at Goldman Sachs, and your family has never seen a driver before. Okay, all right.
Maybe he just got the promotion. I don't know. Maybe he just got the promotion.
Right.
He's new to this.
And then, but it goes back to Jason. Like, Jason could be like, my mama not finna. She gonna be acting like, ooh, ow, ow. He may not. Jason comes to be like, all right, mama. That's how I took Jason. Like, okay, mom. All right, mom. Like, she's like, oh, I don't want that.
Why does Sabrina's family speak French? Like,
I guess
are they French?
I guess they French. I guess they Creole.
They ain't from they
never
live
been enslaved.
They own slaves. They ain't from down south. They got a house in Martha's Vineyard. Like, why they speak French? Do they learn? You think they learned French to kind of like put on a certain persona?
Was it like
I'm assuming
work-related?
Perhaps they were related to a French family, and they, that was their mother language. And they inherited slaves along, but I guess we know that they're moneyed, but we don't know where that money comes from.
No, they don't explain it.
They don't explain where that comes from, and we just know that her mother's family or her aunt's family, as we learn, is moneyed, but the father is working class, and I'm sure
Sabrina's dad.
Yeah, I'm sure by marrying Sabrina's mother or her her auntie mama, her auntie slash mama, that he married well, and he was able to build upon their fortune until he loses it all.
So which is worse, someone cheating or losing your money / destroying your credit, which is worse?
Someone cheating versus someone that stole my money, that took my money and destroyed my credit was worse.
How are we defining cheating?
Just regular cheating. You had sex with someone else.
Okay, because I'm like, because a kiss can be cheating, and you can go ahead and kiss her.
No, let's go. To me, the money is worse because that's hard to rebuild. Like,
I understand.
If you messing up my credit, that's gonna take some time to rebuild.
And then like, my money goes back all the way to the
that's
19th century.
You lost generations. Like when she was just like, damn, well, you should have cheated. Cause I'm like, okay. I felt that. I'm like, you should have. Cause like that's worse, losing my money.
And all we got is this house left. What's gonna happen to Miss Mabel? Who was she? The mammy?
I think she was like at the house. You know, she's been there for a long time. She cleaned. She probably managed like the house events or stuff.
Well, what's up with her retirement fund?
Exactly. Who's paying her?
What's gonna happen with her? What happens at the end of the film with the cash? Are they still broke?
They don't mention it.
All these loose ends. I need to know what happens with this cash because really, y'all should have let Miss Pam wear her black and white rainbow dress, and y'all could have got y'all money back from that shade of buff. But what you think is worse, Kalisha, cheating or
or losing someone stealing your money?
My cash. Hard on cash.
And for this movie, I would definitely say the cash would be the thing, you know.
That's hard. Like I don't know if I can't forgive that.
Yeah, that's a hard thing. It's like you're you're dismissive in all the acts. I feel okay in the fact that I'll get the money back. It's just the work that you like you didn't tell me. It was all the behind stuff. Like you didn't tell me this is a lasting effect. Like I'll always get it back.
Cheating could be a lasting effect.
Yeah, it's true. But
with either one, if you decide to leave, it's like, okay, your husband or whatever can cheat on you, and you're like, you know what, I'm leaving. Like, you can let that go. Like, I'm done with him, whatever. But then with the money, you leave and you broke. So it's like, it's a double edged. It's like it's worse on top of worse.
Yeah,
what if the cheating went on for like a decade, and the cheating resulted in a child?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You can still leave the relationship. I'm not saying stay in the relationship. Yeah. You can leave the relationship. But it's like, I'm going to leave the relationship. If you cheat, fine. But if you steal my money, I'm going to leave and still not have no money. At least.
So I guess what am I basing this on? Whether or not I can have a successful life, or what the pain of it? Like, which pain is worse?
I guess either one. I guess either or. It's both, because even the pain is still going to be bad, but at least you can get yourself together. You know what? I'ma just get me another house or get me an apartment, and let me just have time to think about it.
Right.
But if you ain't got no money, where you going? You stuck.
You stuck.
When Miss Mabel going I guess I'm coming from a space of like needing to feel financially safe, like you messing with my livelihood here.
Of course.
So yeah. I mean, to lose all of the money and what's Angela Bassett's name in the film?
I don't know.
I forgot.
Sabrina's mom, you get the feeling that she has never worked. So she doesn't, what skills does she have to go out and make money? So yeah. From her standpoint, the money is worse. From my standpoint, I don't know. I really don't know, because it seemed like, for me, like your intention, I guess what is your intention? If you lost the money, your intention may not have been to hurt me.
That is true.
With
it's
the cheating, maybe your
you
intention still wasn't, you still were not trying to hurt me, but with losing the money, you were trying to advance our lives. With the cheating, you knew that would hurt me.
But you're still being dishonest, because why wait till the last? Like they're spending money on this wedding. Like it's still a sense of you're not being honest with me.
Yeah.
Because why are we buying buff dresses and having a caterer and flying people in? Like, why are we doing this if we don't have it? Like, be honest with me. Just say, hey, I did a couple bad investments. This, like, when it happens, don't wait a year, whatever later. There's no honesty there. There's no transparency. It's like, if we're supposed to be married, like, why are we married if we can't have conversations about what's going on? Like, why is it a secret? Because to me, it's kind of both. Like, if you're cheating, you're secretive, and now you're secretive with money. It's still being secretive and being dishonest.
Well, I mean, do you get the sense that when they were having that moment, I think it was right before the rehearsal dinner, and it reminded me of the waiting to exhale moment, because she's sitting in front of the mirror and she's like putting on makeup.
Yeah.
And he comes and I'm like, oh my God, are you about to tell her you leaving her for some white women?
Oh God.
She has already been through this. I hope you know your car about to get torched. But anyway, it seemed like he was trying to tell her then. So I'm assuming that Sabrina's mother isn't the easiest person to talk to.
That's
so
true,
could there have been other moments where he tried to tell her and she made it impossible to tell her?
I mean, they do have a lack of communication, because if she was thinking that her husband was cheating on her, I guess, for however long, it's a lack of communication. Like, they're not talking to each other. Yeah. And
our daughter is not our biological daughter, and we have been keeping that family secret. It just seems like secrets
running.
That's the lay of the land there. That's how they move there.
You're right.
So I think the pain would have, for her, if I'm her, it would have been the cheating.
Yeah. But I think she was prepared for the cheating.
I do. You're right about that too.
She was prepared to be like, okay, who is she? Where's she at? Like, whatever. But then the money kind of caught her off guard, and she was just like, what? Like, all my money?
Who was that white woman? Was that their accountant?
Someone, like, it was just not.
And why was she at the table? Why was she at the rehearsal dinner table?
Oh, I think she was the planner. Was she the wedding planner?
No, because that was the lady from Modern Family. I'm talking about the lady that was in the car talking about, if you don't tell her, I will.
I think that was like an assistant or something.
Was it financial advisor or something?
I think it was his financial advisor. It was someone that was known,
or maybe it could have been someone who they were paying the wedding.
Because she said, she was like, I've known her for so many years. If you don't tell her, I will. So it looks like it was someone that was trusted.
I'm assuming she's the assistant, or she works closely with him and she handles the finances. And because that is his wife, she feels obligated to share this information. Like, I know her, I owe her this information, I respect her, we have history together, I cannot keep this from her. I know that you need to, but I can't keep this from her.
Sure. Yeah.
And if she's saying that, then has he tried to tell her? I don't know. I feel like I'm going back on what I said. I don't know what's worse. I can't answer that.
I got like, what you got, Kalisha? Cheating on money.
It's kind of like, I'm a battered woman, but the man has all the money, so I leave you, but now I don't have nothing. I don't have a house. I don't have no cash. It's like that kind of feeling that you probably would feel. It's like, dang, like, not only did you do this to me, but like, now you done took away half my cash, if not more than half. My credit's challenged now. If that didn't work, they brought it up, because you left me not have lasting impact. Because if you have a child with another woman, you've been with her for 10-something years, cheating with for 10-something years, you can go,
Yeah, okay. You have to go on with each other.
y'all can go on with each other. I mean, I'm hurt, but I mean.
But then he can still take your money then. Like,
if they
you
divorce,
might have to pay him alimony.
Sure, it could be all those things, but
that's
it's
still
like,
money.
It's still money. So it's like, you know, at the end of the day, I'll get it back. It's just the blow of that. It's like, dang, like, you know, like you jabbed me twice, you know? That's how it would feel. Then I was just like go into mode like, now I gotta get my money up because now now I feel like it's a personal thing. It is personal, but now you done really did me, like you really like took my cash. Now I'm just about to go in overdrive, you know? Cause dang, I could feel the angst that I would feel because you took my cash.
It's like, not my money, like that's all I got.
I'm telling you, like, I worked so hard for it, you know? And then when I get it, not to put so much on it, but, you know, when you get it and then you do that, it's like, okay, dang. All right.
So is it the dishonesty? What if you knew all about his investment decisions and the money is still gone because y'all just trying to leave dude?
Well, to me, it is a dishonesty. At least, like, if we're in this together, because it seems as if she didn't have nothing to do with the finances, that she just gave it all to him.
Which you dumb.
Yeah, so that's mistake number one. Like, at least, like I said, they obviously don't have any
communication. Yeah.
So, like, where's the communication? Like, you know, that's it. It's lack of, like you said, there's lack of communication throughout that whole side of the family. And so there's no honesty. You're not being upfront with me. You know, you're hiding, you're being secretive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just the money, but like, we can work through this, but why aren't we working through this together?
Agreed. It's all of that. It's like, why you're not letting me know nothing. And it's okay if you want to like lead with the cash. You know, if you want to like maybe you do these things when it comes to certain things with the cash. Like, I'm all cool with that. But I never want to be in the dark about stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
We could have been talked about it, but like, hey, this is risky. I'm doing this amount of money. I don't know if it's gonna win. What you think? You know, like, let me know so I could be like, oh God, really? Okay. So it ain't gonna be no surprise if it don't turn out well for us. And I think she was just like, you know, I have a lot of money. He's a smart man. This is my husband. I'm gonna just let it be. You know, but like you said, I think the secrets really is like something that they kind of uphold. And then also the thing is like they don't have good communication.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the biggest secret is we find out the auntie is really the mama. The mama is the auntie.
Yeah.
Thanks to Miss Pam.
Thanks, Loretta.
Language. Typically, we see questions about paternity.
Yes.
Is what I'm trying to say. And this now, you know, this is a question of maternity. Yeah. And I feel like this film is in conversation with a lot of poetry, with a lot of fiction, with a lot of TV and film that really put the relationship between the mother and the child in terms of like black mothers and black daughters. Like, it really puts that under a microscope. So I'm really interested in that, because the film that our first film, Love and Basketball, there's a tense relationship between the mother and the daughter. In 40-Year-Old Virgin, there's a tense relationship because the mother is gone.
She has no mom.
Exactly. And in this film, she got two mamas. She don't even know. She doesn't, this secret about her, about maternity has been, her whole life. Her whole life
must be hard, because it's one thing, like, I know if you're adopted, at least, you know, most people would tell their kid, hey, you're adopted, but they was just like, forget this, you are mine.
Right.
Like, we're not even gonna mention, you know,
and
that
who is her father?
Well, the mom said, the mom
Italy
said,
or France or
something. She went abroad when she was 16. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Yep.
And then she met, and I guess the guy he already had a family, and so she came back home pregnant.
Yep.
So Sabrina got sisters and brothers over there. eating
Italian
spaghetti,
food.
and you were over here, and you didn't tell that girl.
Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
They over there eating mozzarella, and let me stop being pejorative. But yeah, that's horrible.
All right, we got about 5 minutes left. Even any lasting thoughts about the movie? Final thoughts?
Oscar-worthy movie. It was
It was cute. I liked it. It's definitely kind of dated. Like I said, you can tell this is like 2011. Yeah. With the whole, like the Think Like a Man vibe. Save your cookies for marriage. Don't give them. The problem with your relationship is that, you're not following the rules. That whole thing.
Yeah. Really adorable romantic dramedy. And I really, they put a lot of storylines in one film, and I think the runtime was only
it's like an hour 30,
50 minutes.
Yeah, an hour 50.
They were able to tell a bunch of stories in such a short amount of time. So I think great acting performances by all of the cast, especially Miss Angela Bassett. Put her in a movie and just let her work.
Oh, she's so good. Loretta was really good too.
Miss Loretta Devine, put her in a movie and watch her go to work. I mean, those are the two leads. If we really want to.
Yes, of course.
This movie stars Loretta Devine and Angela Bassett.
Right. And this movie about their kids.
I know.
Pretty much. I loved it. I love them. They're very regal.
Oh, I forgot to mention Tasha Smith. She has a
Oh yeah,
you mentioned her.
I did. Okay.
Yeah. Her and Romeo.
Gosh, it's like gross. He looks 5, and he looked like he put product in his hair to make it lay down. I was upset about it.
Romeo is so cute though.
Oh, he's incredibly so handsome, cute. But he still looks 12.
Yeah, he looks really young.
He looked 12.
He still has a baby face now when I see him. I don't even know how old Mario.
He said he was a senior at Yale Middle School.